Dave, can I wear this shirt on camera?
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Wait, am I in the shot?
No. Hello, Internet. Very nice to see you again today. You look beautiful. And welcome to the Motherboard Mothership here in Brooklyn, New York. You're surrounded, well, not surrounded, I guess you're looking at on some sort of screen, all of parts of Motherboard. All of the attractive ones are not me. I'm Derek Mead, the editor-in-chief of Motherboard, and I'm here to tell you about Pilot Week. Pilot Week is a new experiment that we're doing in which we piloted a series of new series of videos just for you. We've been known heretofore for doing documentary work, immersive, explorative stories all over the world. And we're never ever going to stop doing that because that's literally the reason that all of us are here. But we also realized a while back that we had so many ideas that we wrote down on napkins in bars somewhere or texted someone at 4 in the morning and said, hey, I need to do this, and never actually did them. So what we've done this week is we've come up with some weird shit that was in our brains, and we said, let's make this into video and let's put this in front of our viewers and see what they think. Here's what you're gonna get. Destruction. Kids saying weird things about the future. A whole lot of cartoons about people breaking the law. And some other moments that may or may not make you laugh and cry at the same time. All right, hold on to your butts, people, because now the first clip is up.
We get a lot of mail at Motherboard, some of it weirder than others. But that's okay, because I'll open anything. I'm here with Motherboard Growth Team member Evan Rogers, and we are going to open this box. It's pretty rectangular and standard. I wouldn't say that there's anything particularly notable about this box, other than the fact that it was packaged excellently. No fragile signs.
No, it doesn't seem fragile at all.
All right, so something hard.
That was a great sound.
Yeah, it feels like it's taller than it is wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we break into this thing?
I think we should.
Okay. Gotta do this with care. The first thing I'm noticing is a smell emanating from this box. True. A very strong smell. All right, let's see what we've got here. Okay. It's a bottle. Oh. Wild meat-fed red fox urine. I can't possibly fathom why you would A, send this to a tech website, and B, what you would do with this. Deer hunters use as a masking scent by applying around your stand. Because fox urinate frequently to mark their territory, deer are accustomed to smelling their urine and are not alarmed by its presence.
So you can cover your scent and also send chill vibes out to deer.
Exactly. They're like, oh, everything's fine. Should we open this?
If we must.
All right. It's certainly like rotting eggs, like very sulfury.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. It's got a definite.
It's not unlike pee that you're familiar with.
I mean, it would be like the putrid flesh of a rotting animal.
Yeah.
And then also like a sycamore tree.
Nice.
Together.
If I were a hunter, I would give this 5 dirty hostile socks out of a possible 5 dirty hostile socks. But as a tech blogger, 0. 0.0 out of 5. Anything. All units, 0. What about you?
This is hurting my face.
Gotta see if this stuff actually works. It's gone. Now we wait. We wait for the foxes. Go wash it. Yes, I'm gonna go wash my hands.
You're not gonna get that smell off.
I know, dude.
Okay, I think I got it. Whiz Kids is Motherboard's kids show for adults. These people will inherit the earth, but no one ever asks them about the future that they're gonna be living in. So we sat a bunch of these kids down in a room to ask them about robots, the internet, science, the environment, and this is what they told us.
The internet, it gives me anxiety. The internet makes me sad because there's less human interactions. I have digiphrenia. Do you guys understand what that feels like?
Taking a break from the internet is for losers.
I'm trying to get the internet. The internet is probably bigger than the world. Oh, it's like the world and then half of the world, probably. A world and a half.
The size of the internet is infinity and beyond.
Can you tell me how big the internet is?
I have no idea. Internet is very big. If I had to compare the internet to something, it would be space, because they're both very large and they help you a lot with things you want to know. And they're futuristic. They're both very progressive. Nowadays, everyone is always on the phone or looking on the internet instead of doing normal things like going out here and going on TV and talking. When I turn on the internet, I get excited. Online friends, you have no idea what they look like. You have no idea if they're just being nice to you on the internet to be friends. Who knows? They might be some ugly person who is so mean.
The internet is not always a safe place. It could, like, there's hackers.
The internet is a dangerous place because you could get blackmailed, threatened. Like, say you were emailing someone, and then this other person saw, like, they hacked your friend's email, and so they said, "I hate you," even though your friend doesn't actually hate you, but the person who hacked your friend's email hates you. Wait, they might not hate you, but they just might want to blackmail you.
In order to stay safe on the internet, you should stay anonymous and make sure that it's safe where you're on the internet.
The internet is a place where I can find love.
You never want to find love on the internet because it might be like a really ugly girl. You might fall in love with the 80-year-old ugly woman. Internet is my favorite addiction.
The internet should have a feature that makes it so you can't put anything untrue on the internet. If the internet was geared towards virtual reality, I think it would be a step forward.
The internet is perfect the way it is.
I thought it was a stone. Oh. How pissed would they be if we like break the bear? Hi, I'm Lorenzo Franceschi Bicchirai. I'm Motherboard's cyber reporter. Hacking is boring, as I know, but we still wanted to make a show out of it, so we went to the best hackers in the world and asked them to tell us their greatest moments in hacking history. And we made it not boring.
I just kind of sat in my chair, head spinning, like, what do I do? The biggest website on the internet right now is down, and it's because of me. MySpace is the #1 site on the internet at this time. This was 2005. It even surpassed Google. So I was about 19 years old. I get onto MySpace and I set up a profile. And I started playing around with the MySpace website, trying to see if there were any issues I could exploit. Found a vulnerability in both MySpace and browsers that allowed me to write code and put it on my profile. The code I had written was actually giving me a ton of power. I had full control of the person's browser. So what would happen is, if you visited my profile, you would add me as a friend, but the code would then replicate to your profile. So anyone who visited your profile would also add me as a friend and add the code onto their own profile. So from there, it became a worm or a virus. So I wake up in the morning expecting a couple new friends. I go on myspace.com and I now have like 10,000 new friends. Of course, it was exponential, so the next hour, I saw 50,000 people on my profile. Now, deleting my profile doesn't really get rid of the virus or the worm, right? It's kind of like a cold. Like, just because you're cured, if you spread it to 100 people, it doesn't matter. They'll still have the cold. So I go into MySpace and I say, delete profile. It says, okay, your profile will be deleted in 24 hours. It's just stuck in this frozen state for 24 hours while this worm continues to spread across MySpace. I'm at over 500,000 friends, and I'm just blown away. I don't know how to like solve this problem. It was basically another hour when it hit over 1 million people. So at this point, it was less than 24 hours since I had launched the original worm on my profile. And now I'm just refreshing, and I hit refresh, and it says, this profile has been taken down. I'm like, finally. So hopefully they took down the worm and everything else. So I go to my girlfriend's profile, and it says, this profile has been taken down. And I'm like, oh no, what just happened? So I go to myspace.com, their main page, and it says, MySpace is down. And I felt terrible. And I'm thinking, maybe I should drive over to MySpace, bring some coffee and donuts, and be like, hey guys, I'm so sorry. Can I help? And a few hours later, I checked and MySpace is back up. Then I kind of just waited. A day went by, I woke up, nothing happened, no cops. A week went by, no one has contacted me at all. After 6 months, I buy a new car, a Porsche Boxster. I'm walking down to the garage in my apartment, and the elevator opens, and I see my car, and I see two kind of big guys standing next to it. And I'm walking up to them, like, oh no, like, I'm getting carjacked. These guys are gonna beat me up and take my car. And as I'm walking up, two guys walk up behind me, and I look around, I'm like, oh no, I'm surrounded. What's gonna happen? They say, Sammy? I'm like, yeah, we have a search warrant. And they all show me different badges. And we go up to my apartment, and there are a dozen agents, all with guns, going through everything. And I'm like, whoa. People actually bust down doors with guns when they're after a computer hacker. They go through anything with technology, anything with a chip, anything with data. They take it, and then they leave. And I'm like, am I free to go? And they're like, yeah. Like, you're not arrested. We just have a search warrant. And I find an attorney in LA, and he says the DA wants to put you in prison. I had no idea what was gonna happen. After about 6 months, my attorney came back, and he said, all right, here's a plea that we can actually take. Basically, you'll pay some money, maybe like $15,000 or $20,000, and you'll go to probation for 3 years, no prison. You can have one computer that's not on the internet. At this point, I really have no options. I say I accept the plea agreement, and that's that. I kind of started a new chapter of life because I had spent my entire life just in front of a computer. And finally, this light got me out. I just spent a lot of time doing other things that I think normal people did. As part of the deal, I had to do 720 hours of community service. So at 5 a.m. every Saturday, I'd wear this orange jumpsuit. I'd drive my Porsche to a waste facility, and I'd get in a dump truck. I had to basically just pick up trash on the side of the road. And that was about 2 years. 3 years later, everything was off my record. I could touch computers again. I could use the internet. I was a normal citizen, rehabilitated by the state of California. That day, I went out and I went to the Apple store. I bought a laptop, pulled out the laptop, turned it on, and I opened the web browser and I go to a website. I looked for a few minutes and then I shut it down. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go hang out with some friends. And that was pretty much that.
Oh shit. Hey guys, I'm Kaylee Rogers. I'm a staff writer at Motherboard, and I write a column for the site called Wisest Still Thing, where I look at old ass technology and try to figure out why people are still using it. And we turned it into a weird show. So enjoy. Welcome to Why Is This Still a Thing? The show where we try to find out why old technology is still around. On today's episode, checks. And to help us talk about checks, we have a special guest, Matt Phillips, a writer at Quartz. How long have checks been around?
They've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, but as we know them, you know, in these nifty little books that you can tear them away, they've been around since like the late 1940s, early 50s. That's really when they became a thing in America.
At this point now, are people still using checks, and why?
Yeah, people still write checks. It's still a thing. I still write a check to pay my mortgage. I don't know why. I could set it up each month. I think it's an element of just inertia. You know, things take a really long time to change, especially when it comes to money. This is my favorite part, the retro, old school font in the bottom left. The name of the font is, I believe, E13B?
What? This is the memo area.
Yeah, memos are weird.
What possible function would this have?
Well, I mean, in theory, if there's some person working in a business and they get, you know, a bunch of different checks, if it becomes like loose from your invoice or something, you could put your account number here, you could put all sorts of helpful hints, you could make jokes if you're writing to family members.
What kind of check humor would people?
I've made some jokes, but I can't really remember them or if they'd be safe for Vice.
And this is where you write out.
Oh yes, right. So it would be like $207.
Which is another thing you never do. When do you ever spell out numbers?
That's true. It was a weird little cross check. And then you would always do these like really long lines here to like make sure somebody wouldn't like write stuff in.
So your grandmother sends you a check, doesn't put that line in, she has 20 and you add 1,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how you
and
scam.
then grandma's out of luck.
Because she didn't put the line.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the death date for paper checks? How many years do we got left on these?
2036, probably.
So specific.
No, I don't know. Checks kind of created their own demise. Stanford Research Institute in the 1950s developed this whole apparatus by which checks could be easily tallied and cleared, but that sort of paved the way for what we know as ACH transfers, and those are like the fast payments that basically make it possible for you to use credit and debit cards so quickly and easily everywhere. So they sort of like signed their own death warrant, no pun intended. There'll probably always be people that use them to some extent. I mean, AM radio is still around. There might be a situation where you have to pay an extra fee to pay with a check just because the technology to process them is going to be a lot rarer because everyone's going to just be doing things via swipe.
When it comes to checks, if I was going to write a post date on them, it would be not too far in the future. I think they're on the way out. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming by and talking about checks.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
Just go? Okay. I've owned a lot of tech in my life, and if there's one device that I could smash, when I was a kid, I had a green Nintendo 64 that for whatever reason didn't save my saved games. So every time I would turn it off, all my game saves were gone. So if I could smash anything on this planet in the wider world of tech, it would be that stupid console because it basically ruined my life about a year. I would probably just use, you know what I'd use? I would use a sledgehammer like Triple H brings to the ring in WWE and just fucking smash it. It'd be awesome. Anyway, world famous sci-fi director Neil Blomkamp has similar feelings for his iMac and his monitors. So that's why we filmed him smashing them to pieces because it's amazing. And this is Technocatharsis. Oops.
Hi, I'm Neil Blomkamp, and I have a ton of computers and a monitor strapped to the front of this Hummer, and I'm about to smash them to pieces. Welcome to Technocatharsis. Fuck this monitor. I'm Neil Blomkamp, and I'm the director behind District 9, Elysium, and Chappie. I feel like computers at the moment in my life are taking too much time, so it's a need to want to cleanse them out of my immediate space. I admire the technology, and I admire that it's able to kind of help people, do a lot more with their lives, but it also, if you don't control it, it ends up taking everything from you, and you just sit in front of it all day, and I've mentally decided to not do that anymore. So I want to destroy it. We're just looking for the perfect area to smash the monitor and the laptops. This looks pretty interesting here. Okay, I think we're good. The crunch on the impact was exactly what I was hoping for. I feel like they got what they deserve. Especially the monitor, for some reason. I feel a particular hatred for the monitor, so it's good to see it gone. Fuck this monitor. I got rid of an old monitor that was pretty faithful, but it took a lot of time for me, and 2 laptops that have also sucked numerous hours. So the new time to be spent without computers is upon me, and I feel like there's been a catharsis. There is something really satisfying about it, for sure.
Well, thank you, Internet, for joining us for our inaugural pilot week. It's been a laugh, it's been a riot, we've all cried, we've had experiences, but more than anything, we hope that you had a good time. This is Motherboard signing off until next time. Wait, I was supposed to say very good time.